Hi, my name is Brandon Enright. A few days ago I made a video on how to solve Eric Vergo's Unbandaged helicopter cube, which is this puzzle right here. And I don't think I did a very good job of that video. I had a problem where most of the time the puzzle was out of the frame like this, so you couldn't really see what I was seeing. And I don't think I talked through the solve enough. Unfortunately, this puzzle is pretty hard and pretty complicated, so a lot of the initial unjumbling is just it's just intuition, and so it's hard to talk through what intuition is. But I'm going to give it another try. So I'm going to scramble this puzzle. Oh well, you know what? Let me show the basics first. The basics are that because this is an unjumbling, or this is slightly unbandaged. Excuse me. Tiles overhang. There we go. It has this additional move to it, which on a normal helicopter cube is not available. You can't normally do that. And because of that, you can exchange corners and center triangles, and center triangles can change orientation. And if you do this 2 times, you'll end up with 3 twisted, and then if you repeat, and then repeat, so you do it 2 more times and they'll twist another amount, and then you do it 2 more times and it'll go back to solved. So that's basic number 1. Basic number 2 is that it's easy to, or somewhat easy to, exchange a corner and a triangle without changing the orientation of another triangle. And so the basics of that are that instead of taking this down and just doing that, you just replace this piece with this corner over here. So now essentially this triangle and this corner sort of swapped places. We also moved some other triangles around, but that's no big deal. And so to undo, you would do there we go. It's basically the exact same thing in reverse. I think it's self-inverse. So those are really just the 2 basics. So I'm going to scramble this. I need to tighten this puzzle so that it's not so easy to turn things I'm not trying to turn, because when you do that you end up catching the tiles on each other, or the center triangles. They're not really tiles. Oh, the other basics of helicopter cube, let me show on a curvicopter, is if you turn, this is just standard helicopter cube jumbling. If you turn 2 like that, and then you swap 2 triangles that were in different orbits. See, those 2 swap, and then those 2 that are in the same orbit swap. So you change the parity of one orbit and you swap 2 pieces between 2 other orbits. And this sequence is also self-inverse. Like that. And so I don't think I'm going to show an entire solve of this puzzle from start to finish. I'm just going to show the unjumbling because, well, I already showed the solve of a helicopter cube, plus you can just follow any helicopter cube tutorial to see how it's done. I'm just trying to jumble this thing into a mess now. Push these back a little bit. I'm still in the scrambling mode. This thing's hard to scramble effectively. Which I know sounds ridiculous because it obviously jumbles like crazy, but you know, with the overhang bandaging, it's you know, you have like crazy moves like this that you know, they're harder to find. And then obviously now I've got another crazy move going. So this puzzle's back to like not even very scrambled. Well, that's bandaged. Well, that's bandaged. Oh, this is really weird. That's bandaged, that's bandaged, that's bandaged, that's bandaged. This is not. Oh no, this is also bandaged. This is bandaged. Okay, so there's only one move possible in this puzzle right now, and it's this move. Okay. In my opinion, this is scrambled enough. So now I'm going to unscramble it, or I'll try to unjumble it. So I guess goal number one is to try to make as many things turnable as possible. So this is not turnable right now because this overhang. This is turnable, so we can get, well, we can't get the overhang out because if we do that, then this overhangs. That overhangs. This overhangs. This overhangs. What is this? So there's only one move possible in this puzzle right now. Where is it? Ah, it's this one. Okay, so this is the only move possible. So we need to figure out how to do this to free up another move. Okay, if we do that, then we free up this. I think. There we go. Okay. So what I would like to do, okay, I can't turn that because this overhangs. I can turn that. And let's see if I do that. And then, nope, that overhangs. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring these two closer to each other. I think I'm going to try to anyways. Nope, that didn't work. Yeah, that didn't work. Because these are they're in different orbits. So what I want is this piece and that's a different orbit. So there's no amount of setup moves that's going to be able to help me there. So let's ignore that. Okay, this is nice. These two pieces. So I know that if I execute this, this. So I just changed the orientation. Okay, so now I'm down to just that. And I know that if I use another okay, so the problem is this is not in the right orbit, and it either needs to be here or here. It either needs to be in those two spots, and it's not in the right orbit to do that. I don't know if I can move it to a different orbit. Let me try. No, that's overhanged. I'm just moving these things around right now. That's in the way. Okay, so I'm just getting stuff out of the way right now. Okay, so I think I can do something about these two pieces. No, I'm just making a mess here, so I'm going to just undo this. Can I use either one of these? Ah, yes. So if I turn that, it's in the right orbit. Okay. So I got to get stuff out of the way so that I can actually do that. So turn that. No. Oh, that's bandaged. Okay. This is nice. Okay, so I can fix this and that as long as I can get these triangles out of the way. Okay, so yeah, so I need to. Is this in the way? No, okay, so let's see what happens if I try to do it. Okay, now the problem is I can't bring this around because that's bandaging. So I need to get this out of the way. So now this blue triangle's out of the way, but now this corner's in the way instead. So that's a problem. And so I can't move it out of the way again because this triangle is bandaging. So let me first see what I can do about this. I don't know if I've made it better or not yet. I have, I think. Yeah, I have. Because now instead of this triangle, instead of this one being in the way, this one's in the way. That's not going to cause a problem. I don't think, anyways. Because so now I can turn this. Because before I couldn't turn it. So before this was the triangle jutting out, but I changed it to this one. And so that allows me to turn this, whereas I couldn't before. And I don't know if this is in the way or not. I think this is in the way. So I gotta find a way to move that out of the way. And so if I do, nope, neither one of those is gonna help me here. Wow, I've gotten myself into a real mess. I can't, I've got so much overhang bandaging that what I can do is really limited. Let's try. Oh, that made it a lot nicer right there. This is still really ugly. Oh, I think we got ourselves in a good situation here. Perfect, 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 perfect. Okay, so what I need to do is if I can get this triangle into that spot, well, it's in the wrong orbit, so I know I can't do that. Well, here, so let's see what happens if I do this. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, so now I know that I can twist this one and this one. I think they're twisted the same. So if I apply this sequence several times, I should be able to just end up with one twisted instead of two. There we go. Now I have just one twisted. So now I have 3 triangles bad. So 2 of them are in the same orbit. That orbit right there. Oh, so all 3 of them are in the exact same orbit. See, check that out. This, and this, those are all the same orbit. So, I've never had to deal with them in being in the same orbit. Let me see if I can swap an orbit for one of these, which means trying to get it out of the way. Get it out of the way. Okay. So if I go do this, turn this 180. Okay, now I move this to a different orbit. So okay, so now those 2 are in the right configuration, and we know that this one definitely is not in the correct orbit still. You know, so it's in the same orbit. So are these twisted the same way? No, I don't think they are. I think they're twisted different ways. So I don't think I can resolve this directly. So what I need to do is I need to move this into that piece's spot. Great. So this is going to work if I'm able to move stuff out of the way. Okay, so now I do this up, this over, do 180. Okay, so now I moved it into that spot's orbit. So now I know that I can get these into the correct configuration with just a little bit of work. Don't try to turn what's not supposed to be turnable in this puzzle. Okay, so I need to swap this piece into that spot. Let me see if I can do that. Turn that up? No, I can't turn that down because that's bandaging. So I need to get this out of the way first. And by doing that, I move this. So I think what I need to do is do that first. No, and then I can't turn that. Yeah, see, this needs to be in that orbit. It's not. Or in that orbit. Either this orbit or this orbit will do. So let me see if I can get it over into that yellow spot. I think the way to do that I'm really struggling with this. This is terrible. these are twisted the same. So I can turn these two into a single twist. So I think I just need to do No, I'm not. This is not working. One more. No, one more. No. Okay. So now if I can get this. Okay, we got a good situation here. Pretty close to good. I'm going to move it into a different orbit. Gotta get this out of the way first though. So I'm going to move it into that orbit. Now that won't help me. There we go, I can move it into that orbit. Okay, this is going to be nice. Okay, watch this. So I turn this up, and then I turn that over. Okay, now we're in a good situation. Okay, so now if I push this, it's going to fix this piece. So this piece is going to go solved. The corner is going to go solved, and we're going to have a single twisted triangle. So let me show that. It's not what we want to do, but let me show it. There we go. Now we have a single twisted triangle. Now let me undo that, because that's not really what we want to do. We know that if the base of this triangle is aligned with that edge, so that the base here and the base here, then it'll completely solve. So we need to change the orientation of this triangle. To do that, we'll go and put it over here. Now we'll take it out of that spot temporarily. Now we're going to send it around the cube to change its orientation. Okay, so now we have this situation, and this piece is over here, so we have a little bit of freedom. So let's send it around in a circle. And then we want to do, so we want to do, I don't know why I'm struggling so much tonight. There we go. Okay. Okay, and we changed its orientation incorrectly. So we twisted it. So now the base, instead of the base being along the top, it's along this side. Okay, so that video went so much longer than I was expecting that my memory card filled up, so I just put a different one in. To recap, I'm not exactly sure where it cut off. This triangle, the base of this triangle was along here, and so we took it out and we put it around, we kind of made a mess and changed its orientation. So I need to change its orientation again. So to do that, you have to take it out. So now it's over there. Now you gotta send it around in a circle. Okay, and so now what I want to do is I want to bring it up here, and then I want to be able to turn it over. So if I bring it up, I can't turn it over because that's blocking. So I need to get this out of the way first. But if I turn that out of the way, then this blocks. So what I have to do is get that out of the way first. So I turn that like that like that. No, excuse me. This is what I do. I bring it up. So now it's up there. Now I want to bring it over. So I got to get that out of the way first. So if I do this, now I can bring it over here. Okay, and then I undo. Now I have the ability to turn this, put it in that spot, turn that. Now this is going to be unjumbled. Push this, and we're going to solve it all at once. Gosh, if I can turn. What is this caught on? There we go. Okay, now the puzzle's unjumbled. Hopefully that made a little bit of sense. I know it went way too long. At this point, you can solve this puzzle exactly like a helicopter cube. You will have, like a jumbled helicopter cube. You will have to swap the orbits, but you won't run into any problems. There are no single twisted corners or swapped corners or any madness or anything that you can't do on a normal helicopter cube. So that hopefully is a little bit more helpful about how to unjumble this puzzle. Because the process involves so much intuition, it's really hard to show in a very smooth, like if you see this, do this, if you see this, do that. No, I don't think you're ever going to get it to that situation. This puzzle sort of requires that you sort of adapt to whatever the bandaging is at that particular moment. But as hopefully you saw, there are some ways to figure out how to fix corners and triangles sort of at the same time to cancel effects. If you have two problems, can you turn them into one problem? Or if you have three problems, can you turn them into two problems? Or three problems to one problem, that sort of thing. So the whole idea is to identify problems, get them close to each other, and then apply some sequence that fixes problems, or creates problems. But if you can create a problem that cancels an existing problem, then you've created the solution. So that's pretty much how I solve this puzzle. Now, with practice, I've gotten it down to around 2 minutes. So I know that video went incredibly long. That was really long and arduous unjumble. But when I'm not talking about it and I'm just sort of going through it, I can do it pretty quickly. And with a little bit of practice, I can do it in like 2 minutes. Unless I hit a really weird situation, and then it'll be an hour or something like that. But hopefully that helped. So thanks for watching.